That was long but good.
Z- Resume.
Ready for another round? It's Brewsday Tuesday. Here is Huck and Big Nate.
Oh, there you go.
I don't know what it is
There,
with me and cans. Good Lord.
you're at the bad.
I
Oh,
really am. I can do bottles all day. Cans, for whatever reason.
I'm just gonna pour me a big glass of this motor oil.
Here you go. Have you some motor oil.
Motor oil,
It's actually replaced your beer with coffee. Traveling beers. Huck brought some beers
traveling
in and
beers.
some travel stories. So, what beer you got over there?
I got the Rogue Rolling Thunder 2025 Imperial Stout. Probably the ABV, but I don't feel like looking at it. So, Rolling Thunder refers to, excuse me, motorcycle riding. I think I did a little of that, and then I realized that I'd rather have it cheap. What do you got, my friend?
Time. Nothing but time.
Hell, we all
Uh,
maybe, maybe not.
got a Chevy Avalanche that I love, and recently a Jeep.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone I know.
What about the beer? The beer.
Oh, pfft.
Hello,
Thought we're talking vehicles.
hello.
Perennial Artisan ales, English style ale. They're ESB with a handy dandy little astronaut
English
on there.
special bitter, but they're never bitter.
You know
What's
what's
so weird about that?
you know what's wild to me?
Why we hate the English?
We refer to the moon
Yeah.
as being really far away and like the peak of travel. Do you know how many miles it is to the moon?
No, I do not know that. 225,000.
It's 238,900.
See, I'm close.
So you could do that.
Yeah, Marv, I just got the brakes fixed, so
That is my Avalanche has 255,000 miles on it, so it's
that
almost driven to the moon.
that's a lot.
It's not though. I don't I in my lifetime, how many in your lifetime, how many miles do you think you've driven?
Oh my gosh. I'm probably a million.
Yeah, so you could have been to the moon several times over.
Yeah. I mean, I now I didn't really pay attention till I got an RV, and I do about 20,000 a year in the RV. That's not counting everything else. So I mean, what's 7 times 2 is
14?
yeah. So I mean, is that 1.4 million?
Yeah.
There you go.
All right. So the moon not that far away.
Not that far away.
Something to aspire to, but that's not the kind of traveling you did.
No. So I forgot where I was going with this. Oh, we were
The
talking about
astronaut distracted me.
yeah. Well, the moon is a travel thing too. So we were talking about the Outer Banks. So while I was there, I stayed in Frisco at the government campground, which I did some, but like for an old guy with a pass, it's like $3 a night. That's not true, but nonetheless, it's like $12 a night. Seriously, for a nice campground. But they let when I was a kid, this is 60 years ago, 65 years ago. I would go there, and there you could see the ocean from all the campsites. But they've let like the little brushy trees grow up, and I'm sure that if you asked them, the argument would be, well, we're protecting the dunes. Well, the dunes are exactly the same as they were 70 years ago,
Yes.
and they didn't get hurt in
No.
any of the in between. So that's BS because they need to cut the trees so we can see the ocean. That's why we're there. Not only that, this campground is like a half a mile from the ocean. You ever walked a half a mile through sand to see the ocean? A half a mile.
It's a good leg workout.
Yeah, you're gonna be. It's leg
Your
day.
calves burn for the
It's
next
leg
week.
day. Absolutely. You said you're going to the gym. It's leg day. So yeah, no. But anyway, I digress. But I went to the Outer Banks because number one, I love to go to the Outer Banks. I love to drive my Jeep on the beach, which I did a lot of. Number two, I went there because I wanted to deliver something. So I'm wearing the 50-year anniversary Kitty Hawk Kites shirt. Um, we'll quickly digress. There's used to be a casino at the Outer Banks, and it was a casino closed in '76, and it was actually on the site of Kitty Hawk Kites, but it wasn't really a casino. There's some music and you game video thing.
Ah, yes.
I've went there as a child. But anyway, so I this is gonna be probably a long segment. So I was like, one day, my son said he went by this sunfish sailboat from a guy I knew. And I said, okay, I'll buy it. So I bought it, and it had a sail, and we got it. We never did anything with it. This was like 25 years ago. This was probably in 85. How long ago is that? You can do the math. A lot. Yeah, a lot.
40 years ago.
Yeah,
Because
40 years ago. So we had this thing, and we carried it around. I mean, it was basically at my house in Fincastle, and the sail was in the garage or was in a trailer, a storage trailer. So finally, about 4 or 5 years ago, I pulled it out. They had to get rid of the storage trailer. I sold the property it was on, pulled the sail out, and the thing, we take it over. And I had my working guy, Logan, he's my man. I was like, Logan, let's open this thing up and see what kind of sail it is, see if it matches the boat. He says, okay. So we opened it up and spread it out. It's got a logo on it. And I'm like, I have never heard of this kind of sailboat. So I take a picture of the logo, we roll it back up, put it away. A couple of days later, I look it up. It's a hang glider. So I'm like, a hang glider. So I look it up, hang glider on the internet. It says, this is a hang glider. It says, don't fly it. Whatever you do, you will die. So I'm like,
all the way
oh.
to the scene of the crash.
I was like, this is interesting. So I called Kitty Hawk Kites. This is like 4 or 5 years ago. And I said, hey, man, I found this thing. And I talked to this lady, and she goes, well, let me give you this number of this guy, Greg or Bob. I think it's Bob. So call Bob. So I call Bob, and I tell him what I got. And he's like, yeah, so that's pretty cool. I said, well, what's it worth? Of course, I'm always the capitalist. We've talked about it at every show. And he goes, well, nothing, but we're going to do a museum. So why don't you bring it down here? I said, all right, I'll bring it down there and give it to you. He said, all right. Well, then I got sick. But anyway, the other day I was digging around and so I got it out. Me and Logan, we wrapped it in saran wrap, right? Oh, like 4 rolls of saran wrap. Loaded up on the Jeep. I go down to Nag's Head. So I get there and it's like, I sent him an email, got no response. Show up there, I was like, hey, I went in the store. I said, is the manager here? And she's like, yeah, I'm the manager. So I'm like, hey, I got this hang glider that it's pretty old and I was wanting to donate it to the museum. She goes, well, what do you mean? I said, well, I don't even know because I forgot what it was called and I wrapped it up and I didn't look at it. So why don't we go out there and take it off the car, take it off the Jeep and look at it? She goes, I think I talked to you on the phone. I said, did you refer me to Bob? She goes, yeah. She goes, but Bob's not around, but Greg's here. Let me get Greg. I was like, okay. So we go out there, me and her. I'm trying to remember her name, Audrey. Anyway, we go out there, we get it, and open it up, and I take a picture, look it up on the internet. Sure enough, there's one in the Smithsonian. Not this one, of course. You find stuff and you're like, oh, it's like a treasure. No, it's not. It's kind of like a barnacle. But in any case, we opened it up, and so she's like, well, Greg's on his way. So we took some pictures. We did this and that. And Greg shows up, and he's like, Greg's like older than me, and I'm old as dirt. And he's like, that's really cool. He goes, well, I'm here to give it to you. He goes, okay. He goes, let's put it together. I'm like, really? He's like, yeah. So we got to put it together. And of course, you figure this is going to be a big problem because it's been sitting in the shed for 40 years. I think we calculated a minute ago. So, and he goes, well, I don't have any tools. I was like, oh, I have to be in my Jeep. And being in a Jeep, I have plenty of tools because Jeeps break down all the time. So we take it all these bolts apart, rusted, and put it together. And sure enough, it's a hang glider. Take pictures of it. So I donated that, and it's so cool. I mean, so I'm wearing the shirt. I had to pay for the shirt, half price, but still, nonetheless.
Well, okay, so I've actually got another picture, um, of exactly what I'm going to pull it up on the screen here if you're watching the video.
Yeah,
That's the same hang glider.
bring it up. I don't see it.
You should.
Yes, that's it right
Yeah.
there. Look
So
at that.
fully
It's 50 years old.
I'm going to be really honest with you though. I
That's-
don't know that that looks safe to. I mean,
No,
you're not flying, you're gliding, so
I get you.
you're already like
Okay.
a controlled descent.
Okay, so actually, I really know more about this than I should. I have hang glided a couple times. There's 5 levels, hang one to hang five. I'm a hang two. So, but apparently, if you get into some situation where there's a crosswind, it goes into a death spiral that can't be recovered from.
So is that like a helicopter's death spiral?
I don't know.
Because I know like helicopters basically they get in this spin and you can't pull out of it.
Well,
I think jets do it too.
apparently, if you this thing has 2 wings, you showed the picture, and if one of them drops down, it starts spinning, and you can't get it out. So they only made this from 74 to 76. The one that's in the Smithsonian was made in 78, and it's like a pristine version from the guy that invented this when he finally got it right. But they put stays in the sails. They had to put stays in, and they had to there's some cross pieces that weren't there previously to prevent you from dying. But that's what happened. So
So you're a hang two.
yeah, I've
You
hung a couple times.
you want to get to hang five?
No,
We can
no,
make
I'm
that a
good.
resolution for next year.
No,
2026, Huck and I are hang gliding all year.
there's some things I won't do, and one of them is be in a high place where there's not a safety belt. I mean, I'll climb a tower with my little clips and all. I mean,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm OSHA. I know all
Monkey
that.
climb.
I'll climb a ladder pretty high. But if you're out in the middle of the air and you got nothing, maybe a parachute, hopefully. But if you don't, nothing, no, that's not me. I also don't hunt or fish for animals that could eat me. I
I
think
mean,
that's
that's just common sense.
I think that's just asking for trouble.
Look at you.
Grizzly bears, sharks, don't hunt them. Don't,
I
no.
don't know a lot of bear hunters who are still alive.
Right. So now we're going to roll right into the shark thing. So also, after I took care of this business, I decided I've been talking about this for like 3 years. I've been sick, so I'm not really healthy. But I said I want to go surf fishing. Are you familiar with that?
No, not at all.
Okay, so when I was a kid, my dad, like I say, people always laugh at me. I'll say, well, I've been doing this I'm almost 70. I've been doing something for 67, 68 years. And they go, how is that possible? Well, because my dad was an adventurer. He had 6 kids, so obviously he liked adventure. Let's just leave that there.
He
But
liked risk.
yeah, so we go to Nags Head back when the road was a metal grate. And he rented a pink Jeep one time. I think it was just the first 3 kids. I was the third, which means I was invisible. And we rode this Jeep on the beach, no brakes. His emergency brake to stop. But and he was a big surf fisher. I had no idea about it. I just vaguely remember this. I also remember having pooped my pants in a rest area that wasn't great one time along the beach. But I was like 3. But I remember that. It's a memory I have. But anyway, the Nags Head's been in my blood for a long time. And I have a lot of friends that surf fish. So I said, I want to surf fish. So I go to the surf fishing store in Frisco Rod and Gun. If you haven't been there, you need to go. There's also Frank and Fran's up a few miles, 30 miles north of there. Great fish shop. Need to do that. So anyway, I go find the psycho surf fishing guy. They tell me you need to contact this guy, the psycho surf fishing guy. And I'm like, this is definitely in my ballywick. Here's a guy whose name of
Psycho
his
surf
business is the psycho surf fishing guy. And so I'm like, yeah, I'm all about this. So I text him. They gave me his email, and I looked him up on Facebook. So I sent him a message on Facebook. I sent him a message on Gmail. This is on like whatever evening. I'm like, damn, he never responded. So the next morning I get up around 10 because I'm retired. And there's a message in my Facebook or whatever. It's like 9 o'clock. I'm at the beach. I'm at Ramp 55. If you're not familiar with the beach, if you got a 4-wheel drive vehicle, you will know exactly what I'm saying.
Yep.
That's Hatteras. So I'm in this Ramp 55. So I'm like, dude, I just woke up. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I'll let you know. So I eat my breakfast, do my internet, and then a few minutes later, like at 10:30, he goes, well, I'm here, so come on down if you want. So I'm thinking like, is the guy waiting for me in the parking lot? No, he's not. No. So he sends me a picture of his vehicle, which I think is so cool. Anyway, so I go down to Ramp 55. So I asked Liz, you want to go? Of course, they answer, no. She's going to read her book. So I'm like, I'm out of here. So I roll out of there, 10:30, 11. And I'm like, I'm on my way. No response. Drive down there, get air down, get my tires right, head down the beach. And I'm like, I go like 2 miles. No, dude. Like, did I miss him? I keep going. And finally get down to the very end of the Hatter's Point. And there he is. Like, damn, there's like there's like five people. They're all spaced about 100 feet apart. I pull in next to him and he goes, you must be Huck. I'm like, yeah, this guy is insane. So he makes,
Psycho.
yeah, he's psycho, but he makes like the rigs. He ties the
Yeah.
knots for you. That's what I'm talking about. I never
Oh
did this
man.
because I don't want to learn how to tie all the knots, right?
Yeah.
He ties the knots. So I spent 4 hours with this guy. So we're fishing for pompano. If you're a surf fisherman, you're gonna be going like, oh really? Well, it's too early for pompano. Well, maybe, maybe not. Dude next to us hooked one. They know, they can tell, but they caught one in Ocracoke that day. So yeah, the pompano are coming. Global warming. The pompano are coming north earlier. That's another good thing about global warming. Just gonna throw that out there. But yeah. So anyway, I learned to surf fish. They said I'm a natural, but I mean, I play a lot of golf. I played a lot of softball. It's all the same.
So interestingly
You're
enough,
looking up psycho, aren't you?
no,
So
I do know surf fishing. The only thing I know about it
yeah.
is you are not allowed to catch a shark from the dock, at least in the Outer Banks.
How
You
you
can't
not?
catch a shark from the dock. You either need to be on a boat or surf fishing.
Well, how, wait a minute.
I
You
went
can't determine what you're going to catch.
100%. And I thought that was weird. I went to one of the paid docks. It wasn't Jeanette's pier. It was one of the ones down there.
The Jets is like the Hootie Tootie
Yeah.
pier.
Someone was fishing off the dock. I mean, it had a bait shop attached to it. It was like
They all
clearly
do.
mom and
They
pop.
all do.
But it was like very mom and pop. And I remember someone like who was monitoring the business yelling at the guy and saying, you can't pull that in on the dock. You've got to get around to the beach. So I remember him going all the way to the beach, reeling this. I mean, it can't have been more than 3 feet long. I mean, which is big. Don't get me wrong. It's a shark. They're super muscular and trying to catch it. He got it like super close, and then the line snapped, and the shark just went away. And I remember thinking, man, all that work, like, it's devastating. And that's my experience. I caught several spade that day,
Well, they said
which are
I didn't-
also really muscular for their size.
I didn't catch any fish. And he said I was a perfect surf fisherman because that's what happens. But
It's just there to
but
be
he
in the
pointed to the guy next to me, and he goes, he didn't catch any fish either, and he's an expert. I mean, my training guy, he said like whatever the 4 hour trip, if I'd gone to Florida or somewhere and got a surf fishing lesson, it'd been for $300 or $400. I got it for free. That being said, I'll be buying his little knots he ties. But it's a whole theory on it. We probably can't go into it. I don't know how much time we have, but it's like everybody puts two hooks on the leader. He only puts one, and it moves up and down according to the current. And this guy really has studied on this. Psycho surf fisher. You need to look this guy up. He really knows if you want pompano, and they're really good eating. By the
If
way.
you want pompano, he didn't catch any.
Yeah, well, he always did. They're coming next. I'm
He-
going back.
I would say he also seems like someone who's enjoying life. So I think when I'm down there, I'm gonna have to find him.
Yeah, he's like
I love fishing.
9 to 1 every day down there at 55. You take that new Jeep you're gonna buy, it'll be fun.
All right. Well, I think we need to rate these beers, and we probably
Probably
need to plan a beach trip.
we do.
But I'll let you go first. You've got the beer
The
think-
Rolling Thunder Rogue.
I'm most excited for. I love Rogue. We talked about this last week. You love Rogue.
Yeah, so here we have a
But you don't love stouts, so
no, but
I'm
this one
intrigued.
is. Let me explain. This one's going to be a 5. Why? It's sweet.
Ooh.
You know what I like? I like a sweet stout. This is delicious. And Rogue's been good to me over the years. Imperial stout. It's big. It's full. It's thick mouthfeel, and it's yummy. 5.
All right. As far as he's Huck's Beer Buzz on Untapped on Big Nate Danger. As far as English style ales go, mine's empty for a very good reason. A, Huck was telling a great story, but B, this is really good for English style. I'll go ahead. I would give it a 4.5, but this cool astronaut
Yeah,
label
I like the
and the
astronaut.
nostalgia it provided with the space race and the Apollo missions and everything, I'll go ahead. I'm going to give this a 5. So we're going to out here with fives. And,
5 around.
so I'd say your trip was a success.
I would say.
And I'll see you next week.
It was
on,
completely a success.
Brewsday Tuesday. We might have a guest.
We might.
All right. Well, you're going to have to stick around to
Might
find out
have
who
an
that is.
old school guest.
That's what I like to hear.
There you go.
All right. Thanks, Huck. See you next week.